Exposure bracketing for maximum dynamic range. Focus stacking for deep depth of field. Burst mode to capture the perfect moment. These are just some of the standout features in the brand new version 3 update to Reeflex Pro Camera, alongside a redesigned interface and major performance optimizations, making this the most complete camera app I've used on the iPhone. In this first look, I'll walk you through everything new and show you how to use it. Big thanks to Reeflex for sponsoring this tutorial. Let's dive in. The first thing you'll notice in Reeflex Pro Camera V3 is the redesigned interface and improved shooting experience. The histogram has been rebuilt and lets you switch between luminance and RGB with a tap. You can swipe down to reveal additional settings like flash, timer, framing guides, and a level meter, and swipe up to hide them again. V3 also introduces an improved lens picker now with full support for virtual lenses like the 2x and 8x on the iPhone 17 Pro, taking you even closer to the action. The redesigned format picker provides fast access to HEIF, JPEG ProRAW and RAW formats, and there's also a brand new focus loop which can be dragged over your point of interest for precise manual focus and used alongside focus peaking for even greater accuracy. The next thing that you'll notice in version 3 of Reeflex Pro Camera is just how much faster it is when taking a photo. The entire capture pipeline has been optimized to deliver near zero shutter lag for an incredibly responsive experience. Version 3 doesn't just improve single shot performance, it also adds high-speed burst capture. Just press and hold the shutter and you'll see your burst count increase in real time over the gallery. And if we swipe down from the top of the interface into Settings, Camera Settings, there's a brand new burst on tap mode. This lets you define exactly how many photos are captured with a single press, anywhere from 2 to 20 images. Once enabled, a single tap or even a volume button press fires off a full burst instantly, no need to hold down the shutter. Enabling aggregate burst shots will group these images together in both the Reflex Gallery and the Photos app, making it easy to scrub through your sequence and pick the best frame without cluttering your library. Now we get to one of the most powerful new features in version 3, exposure bracketing. This allows you to capture multiple images at different exposure values, one under your base exposure and one over, so you can merge them later to recover highlight and shadow detail for increased dynamic range and cleaner shadows. For best results, you'll want to use a tripod. Set your base exposure, then tap the exposure bracketing button and choose your range, anywhere from half a stop to 4 stops under and over. Press the shutter button and the app captures the 3-shot sequence in rapid succession. In-app HDR merging is coming in a future update, but for now you can merge these in apps like Lightroom and Photoshop. In Lightroom, select your images, right-click, choose Photo Merge, HDR Merge. Enable Auto Align and hit Merge. Lightroom combines the shadow detail from your brighter exposure with the highlight detail from your darker exposure with your base exposure, resulting in increased dynamic range and much cleaner shadows. Reeflex Pro Camera version 3 also adds support for focus stacking. Instead of varying exposure, this incredibly powerful feature captures multiple images at different focus distances, ideal for macro or scenes where you need extended depth of field. Again, you'll want to use a tripod. First, identify your starting focus value and then your end focus value. Then tap the focus stacking button. Set your starting focus value and your end focus value by dragging the start and end points on the slider, then specify the number of photos you want Reeflex Pro Camera to take between these 2 points. If you're shooting macro, like I am with the Reflex 10x macro lens, use a timer to avoid introducing shake when pressing the shutter button. Once triggered, the app automatically sweeps through the focus range and captures your sequence. In-app merging is coming in a future update, but for now you can stack images in Photoshop using Auto Align, followed by the Auto Blend feature. For even better results, I recommend Helicon Focus on Mac and Windows. Just import your sequence and hit render. Then Helicon can export a merged DNG file for you, giving you full flexibility when grading your image. And when you compare a stacked image to a single shot, the difference is obvious, especially in macro, where depth of field is extremely shallow. One of my favorite features carried over from the previous version of Reeflex Pro Camera is slow shutter mode. Now with a much improved interface, this simulates long exposure photography, allowing you to create motion blur and light trail effects without needing physical ND filters. Tap the slow shutter button, choose between motion blur or light trails, then set your duration. Motion blur is great for smoothing water for that classic glassy smooth effect, or removing subjects from a scene. Light trails is perfect for cars, fireworks, or any moving light source. As you can see, Reeflex Pro Camera version 3 is a major leap forward for professional photography on iPhone, with features like burst capture, exposure bracketing, and focus stacking, virtual lens support, and near zero shutter lag. Alongside advanced manual controls and pro formats, it's one of the most capable camera apps available right now. And when paired with reflex lenses, the results are genuinely impressive. Check the link in the comments to download the app. If you've got any questions, drop them below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.